My name's Clayton. Today we're going to show you the difference between a roofer, shingle installer, and I guess a salesman. Let's go in here where Kyle's working on the wall, and we just replaced this entire wall. It was leaking down through the chimney. You could actually see into the house on the other side. As soon as we pulled the rotten wood out, she was on the other side smiling. Now that was the obvious part that brought the customer to calling someone to get their house fixed. So we tell her, all right, let's start looking up above. Someone had told her she needed to call her roofer. And my first guess was either down here, which we'll get to, or up here, because it is leaking. Now they didn't lose step flashing. We're going to reflash all this. You can see where that big old slit's always been there. No big deal because you got flashing. Well, it is a big deal because you got a hole right there. And I could pretty much see into it. I got to taking things apart, take the flashing out, hop up here. And, you know, I did find water stains right here, and that led me up higher, which takes me up here. We're gonna have to seal all this, probably just put flashing in, but it's leaking every time it rains down there. But that also told me by seeing the damage that it wasn't a bad leak. It was just a leak, but it wasn't causing all the damage we saw downstairs. Climb back down. Led me lower. Well, we saw that they had flashing, which is great. The flashing is only an inch taller than the wood. And our damage below is all in this corner. So I got to look in. I see this all the time. And as you can see, they didn't cut their flashing. See that gap? They didn't cut it right. They didn't seal it. They just butted two pieces up and let it roll. It lasted, you know, for several years before somebody saw the damage. And then, well, the roofers did make a mistake and they had a small leak. You know, they caught the blame for all of it. The siders at the top, you know, that was a problem, and they should have took care of that. And then this should have, you know, had house wrap down here, maybe even ice guard. And then this should have been nicely mitered, one piece, fully making a corner wrapped around where there is no gap, and then sealing where it butts up here, even though it may not leak. Still a good idea, even if it's wrapped all the way around. But you'd have to know how to do metal to do that. So the difference, you get a shingle installer, they come across a problem, they're gonna have a problem. They're not a roofer, and there's where we have the difference in the butting of heads in our industry. A salesman, he had pointed at the roof, said let's fix it. They'd have fixed it, and that's where you see all these reviews where, oh, this company A fixed my roof and it's still leaking, we're still having problems. Well, chances are they don't have a qualified repair guy in the entire company. Most of these sales-based companies don't have a roofer among them. They have a lot of installers. They get very lucky if they find a roofer that can do repairs, because those guys have been doing this for many years. You know, it's not something you just wake up one day and can do. We're house dentists, house doctors, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, a roofer is going to look around. He's going to be able to make repairs. He's going to be able to look beyond the roof. And there's the big part. Beyond the roof for all possible issues until he finds what's causing the problem. Now we're just going to replace this wood, put in new flashing, ice guard against the wall, and this will never leak again. They'll never have a problem again. And they didn't need to call a cider or a you know, a framer or a deck guy. There's like all these little trades sitting here, a painter. They just needed one person that's qualified to do the work, and you know, we're here and we're taking care of it. But that's the difference. It's not the same. We are not the same roofers, salespeople, and shingle installers or TPO installers or whatever. It's all different. The installers may be a roofer someday if they make it, but it takes skill. It's something you learn over time, and this is not something salespeople can point out, and that's why they have problems over and over again. Just you know, the roofers are becoming far and few in between, and hopefully something happens within our trade to, you know, bring back the respect that it had once.